Hey you guys, it's Crystal from the Abundantly Blessed Homestead, where we use the wisdom of our ancestors to make amazingly delicious meals for our family and grow our own food. Well, it is it is Tuesday night at 5:15, so you guys probably know the drill by now. I'm going to take just a couple minutes to finish rounding up the things I need to make dinner, and then we'll get started. Tonight we're going to be making one of my husband's favorite soups that I make, which is called Cheeseburger Soup. It's really, really good. It's amazing. I'm going to be doubling the recipe tonight. I do have a family of 7 that eats like a family of 14. So I'm going to be doubling the recipe. So I will give you the ingredients for a single recipe. And if you see me doing more chopping than what I had just told you, that's why I'm going to be doubling this. So I'm going to finish washing my potatoes up here. I'm going to get on my apron. And we're going to get going. Here's the apron, just in case. So those people don't get offended. Okay, it's canning, okay? We are gonna get going here. I'm gonna go ahead and wash up my potatoes and start removing the eyes. So those will be ready to go into the soup while I wait for more of you guys to jump on. If you are watching the replay, you might wanna fast forward a few minutes, okay? So I'm going to keep on washing here, all right? So like I said, I'm not starting anything yet. I just finished washing my potatoes, and I'm waiting for more of you guys to jump on. I'm going to go ahead and start removing all of the eyes on my potatoes because, well, they're ready to grow. It's that time of year for potatoes. I've mentioned this in my last videos, but if you are a gardener and you grow potatoes, instead of paying the price for seed potatoes, buy a large bag of potatoes, organic potatoes. I know Azure Standard sells them. I believe a 50-pound bag is $60. Go ahead and buy them right now because the organic seed potatoes have already started sprouting. And so you can eat on them, and when spring comes, you can plant what you didn't eat. Or you can do what I do and reserve a 50-pound bag of potatoes every year in our storage room. And then those strictly go to planting and not consumption until they grow more potatoes. I do it this way because then it's only a little over $1 a pound for organic seed potatoes, whereas if you buy them through seed catalogs, they're much more expensive than that price. So we're just removing the eyes from the potatoes if you're jumping on and getting the potatoes washed. Also, if you're new to gardening, potatoes have eyes that come out of all directions. So if you do end up having to order your seed potatoes, just realize that, like every one of these little eyes will grow its own plant. So this will probably be one plant because they're too close together to cut it. But anyway, you get the idea. So unless you grow a huge garden like I do, you probably won't need all 50 pounds. Okay. And then don't forget to stick around to the end because we will be going over our ingredients for next week's meal, which is taco pasta. We don't typically do pasta in our house. It's a rarity. It is not something we eat on a regular basis, and that is because the flour that they use to make the pasta obviously is not properly prepared. So if you eat a diet that is heavy in pasta, you are eating a lot of unprepared grains, which leads to things like cavities and weak bones, all that sort of thing. So, but we're going to splurge. We do this every now and then, and we're going to be making taco pasta. It is really, really good. And in that recipe, I'm going to teach you how to make homemade Velveeta cheese. It's really good too, you guys, and people cannot tell a difference. So I'll teach you how to make that with real ingredients, and that will be next week on Tuesday. And we will go over that recipe sometime in this video. I'm going to go throw this away and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. We're going to get started, guys, okay? It only says that one person is on, but there might be more than that. I can't tell on this app. That's another unfortunate thing about this. So I'm going to go ahead and I have a large stock pot back here. And I'm going to go ahead and place the burner over medium heat. And you know what? I have to go grab my, unless I'm going to do this by memory, I got to grab my, my recipe. Hang on. And the right page of recipe would be good. There it is. Let's see, where can we stick it? Hang on. I had the taco pasta out ready to go. Okay. Cheeseburger soup. Here we go. We're turning our pot over medium. And we are going to put in 1 pound of hamburger. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I am personally doubling this recipe for my family of 7 because we eat like a family of 14. And this is our favorite soup, so we might even eat like a family of 21. So I'm going to be doubling this, but I'm going to give you the amounts in the single batch form, okay? But if you see me chopping or adding extra ingredients, that is why. So I'm going to go get my hamburger. So 1 pound of hamburger going into the pot. Okay, I'm going to go throw these packages away. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm going to go medium high on this. I'm going to get the hamburger cooking, okay? So while that is heating up and cooking, we're going to go ahead and add 1 onion. And like I said, I am doubling these ingredients for myself, so don't let it freak you out when I start chopping a second onion here in just a minute. This soup, you can freeze it. It stays good in the refrigerator for at least a week. It is a really good recipe, guys. It's a nice, hearty, thick, delicious soup. I seem to crave thick soups in the winter, so this is definitely one of them. I'm going to go ahead and add the onion to my pot. I'm trying to move stuff around. I've got stuff everywhere tonight, guys. I'll turn the camera down so you guys have something to look at. Okay. It's like super bitter cold here. I know it's single digits, but then we have a wind, so I'm guessing it's below 0, which is fun. We don't have any snow on the ground. It is, let's see, almost February already. We should have more snow. We should have some sort of snow. Don't have any. The ground has huge cracks in it. It is not good, you guys. You need to start praying for some moisture. It's not going to be good for these farmers. Oh, just cut my finger. That'd be fun and exciting. Okay, I'm going to go rinse off my hands. I'll be right back. Alright, so we got medium-high heat. We've got a pound of ground beef and 1 onion cooking away. A save my eyes some tears and put the lid on it. Now remember what I said in the past. Keep your onion ends and your celery ends and your carrot ends and put these into your stock pot or crock pot or instant pot when you go to make bone broth or meat broth. It adds a ton of flavor. Obviously, in this case, you're not going to want to use this chunk. Okay, it's got a sticker on it. But you can use the rest of the skins. And obviously not this one. It's got a sticker on it. But you can use the rest of the skins to season broth. Or throw it in your compost pile. I like putting it in my broth because it makes me feel like I'm repurposing something that would ordinarily just be thrown away. My chickens won't really eat the onion scraps unless I make them with the bone broth. And then they're like nice and soft, and then they'll eat them, but not if I don't do that. So, all right, so that is cooking on up, and we're gonna need, let's see, gonna need your let's see, you are going to need your broth ready to go, which is 6 cups of broth. As soon as this gets cooked on up, we'll do that. We'll add that on in there. My nose is starting to run all this onion. Woo! Kind of wild. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start chopping the potatoes that go in this recipe. The potatoes, we are looking for 6 cups of potatoes, which means I have to measure this. Which means I got to find a 1 cup measurement. Look at that, I found one. So I'm just going to start chopping. You do not have to peel these potatoes. You can leave the peels right on. Unless they bother you, then go ahead and peel them. But the goal is 6 cups of potatoes. And I have a feeling that since I'm actually doubling this recipe, I'm going to need some more potatoes out of the bag. And maybe a bowl to put my 6 cups of potatoes in would be good. Hang on. Okay, so that's 1 cup. We had an amazing weekend. We all were vomiting and having diarrhea. That was fun. I'm glad it's over now, though. It's quite the ride, especially since it hit both me and my husband at the same time, which means the entire homestead and home was run by our now 12-year-old and our 9-year-old. But they did really good, actually. They didn't do the dishes, which, you know what? If I had a choice, I wouldn't do dishes either. So, there you go. And they didn't do the laundry, which is a bad thing when everyone's throwing up. So, anyway. The good news is laundry is not perishable, and neither are dishes. So, it was all waiting for me when I got done being sick. Okay. A lot of illness going around out there. That's just one of the reasons why I meal plan, because I don't want to have to go to the store or be like running low on food and then have us all get sick. If you're just jumping on, the only thing that you have missed is in this giant pot back here. I have 1 pound of ground beef. I personally am doubling this recipe for my large family because we eat like pigs and we love the soup. So the non-doubled amounts is what I'm giving. So in here is 1 pound of ground beef and 1 yellow onion, and it's cooking away. And we are just chopping the 6 cups of chopped potatoes that go in this recipe. I'm just using the spoon to kind of break apart the meat. My meat's about half cooked, so we'll keep that going. I am just using the juice of the meat, depending on your meat source. Usually grass-fed beef has less fat in it than corn-fed beef. So if you need to, add a couple of tablespoons of butter to the pan. Right now, mine has enough liquid from the onions and stuff that I don't need to add anything to it. I think I'm up to 4 cups. Man, was that pizza good last week, you guys. Comment down below if you guys made it. It was so good. I ate way too much of it, but we won't talk about that. So good. This soup is our favorite, but I don't know, if my husband chose between this soup and pizza, I think he'd probably pick pizza. Because who doesn't like pizza? That's why. Woo. Slippery potatoes, that's for sure here. Here's 5. One more makes 6. But I'm doubling it, so you guys just have to be bored with me cutting potatoes for a little while longer. I could get out my dicer, that would make it go faster. I quit using it because a lot of you guys don't have one, and I don't want to be blazing through my recipes, and you guys are still chopping, so I'm trying the whole chopping by hand thing for you. Alright, so that is officially 6, and I gotta keep on going, so.
Are you feeding them liver tonight?
Are we doing what?
Are you feeding the chickens liver tonight?
Nope, I put grain into the bucket that's outside.
Good.
Okay?
I want to.
I know you don't. Our Azure order is running late, and I order a lot of my grain for I order almost all of my grain from Azure for the chickens. I order whole grains and I mix my own feed. It's just what's cheaper and better for the birds. I make it without any soy. So I have happy birds. Anyway, but that Azure semi has been delayed. It was supposed to come this morning, and then it was delayed to tomorrow morning. And now it's delayed to who knows when, because the driver is sick with probably the same vomiting and diarrhea we were sick with over the weekend. Obviously not from us, because we weren't with the driver this weekend. Anyway, to make a long story short, we've been running low. I usually have a few extra days on hand, but I usually depend on that Azure truck coming, and it hasn't. So we've been cleaning out the freezer. I had some gizzards and weird freezer burn meat, and things that all of us have at the bottom of our chest freezer. And so we've been feeding that kind of stuff to our chickens. And so she was just asking, hey, do we have to feed that to them tonight? And I said no, because I had found a bag of wheat at the bottom of our container. So they get normal chicken food tonight. So hopefully he feels better and he's on the road sometime tomorrow. That would be nice. But we'll just have to see. But they sell all sorts of stuff at Azure, you guys. Cleaner and whole grains and sprouted flour. All sorts of stuff. Okay, so my beef is fully cooked over here. So I am going to go ahead and add... You need, let's see, hang on, 6 cups of broth on your end. cups of broth just went in here. I'm still over medium-high heat. We are going to bring this to a boil. I'm going to go ahead and start adding my potatoes. The potatoes, once again, were 6 cups of potatoes. And I have some more here. So what's going to happen is as you add these ingredients, your the vegetables are going to come to the top of the broth. So it's going to be about level, okay? Don't freak out. That's supposed to happen. We're going to just use the broth to cook the vegetables, and we're going to make a creamy sauce to go in there at the end. So don't worry about the broth to vegetable ratio here. Just keep on cooking. Okay, you are going to need 2 cups of celery. I'm like throwing food on the floor over here. Let the chickens in. They can clean it up. All right, see how much that is. I think this is about 2 cups. Oh yeah. Over 2 cups. Maybe it'll be my 4 cups that I need for my end over here. We'll see. 2 cups. Woo! Jumping, we'll call that. We'll call that 3 cups. You guys only need 2 cups, remember, over there? 2 cups of celery. I'll move you on over so you guys can see the pot and how full it's getting. Like I said, we're not going to worry about the ratio. This is supposed to be just a steaming place, basically, for our vegetables. So don't worry about it. It's starting to get full there. You guys can kind of see it's getting full. That's what's supposed to happen. It's all good. Okay, I have got to grab some carrots. I'm going to do that.
No egg.
What, Nevaeh?
No egg.
Okay, that's all right. All right, so you need 2 cups of carrots, diced carrots. This is so good. The soup is so good. Okay, I'm moving my burner on to high, okay? I need to go get another carrot and chop up just a little bit more. I'm about 1 carrot short here. I'm going to go wash it. They all load up okay for you? Yeah. Oh, good. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and chop that last carrot here. And we're going to add it on in. I'm going to put a lid on this just so it comes up to a boil a little quicker. Bring it back over here while I chop. These are those huge azure carrots from last month. Yes, you can buy carrots ahead of time. They stay good inside your freezer, guys. Not freezer, I mean refrigerator. And if they start going bad, move them to your freezer. But my experience is at least 30 days inside your refrigerator is not a problem for a carrot. I would advise storing them in a plastic bag if they don't already come in one. And sticking it in your crisper drawer. But we get a big bag of carrots from Azure each month because we use it for snacks and meals, all that sort of stuff. So we love carrots. Okay. Ooh. month I forgot to put a bag of carrots in my Azure cart, so we're not getting any carrots this month. I'll have to go to the store and buy them. That's the other thing I like about Azure is that you're not stuck going to the store around other people that could be sick. I don't know, after I spent the weekend vomiting with my children and my husband, you just really don't want to get sick again. You're good, you know? All right, so we have 1 pound of ground beef. And like I said, I doubled this. That's why I have a huge pot, guys. 1 pound of ground beef, 1 onion. We sauteed those 2. Then we added 6 cups of broth. We've added 2 cups of carrots, 2 cups of celery, 6 cups of potatoes, and we are going to add the seasoning next. First, I'm going to pick up all the food that's on the floor because I keep stepping on it and it's driving me crazy. So let me rescue the food on the floor first and go put it in the compost container. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put a lid on this. Like I said, the only reason why I'm putting the lid on is because I want it to cook faster. So we need basil and parsley. And we need a teaspoon measurement. Let's see if we can be lucky and have one. Oh, 3/4 of a teaspoon. That's pretty close. Let me check the dishwasher. Ooh. Like a lottery. Look at that. It's clean. Just not put away. But for any of you guys with dishwashers, especially if you're a mom, you know how this goes. They barely get it into the dishwasher. Usually you're the one that puts it in the dishwasher. You're the one that starts the dishwasher's done, and even if it's on their chore list and it's their chore to do, they don't do it. So, we just have to patiently remind them that it's their job to empty the dishwasher. All right. It's how we grow patience as parents, right? As adults. Okay. So, 2 teaspoons of basil and 2 teaspoons of parsley going into the pot. Like I said, I'm doubling it, so here I go. I'm going to double it. Nobody freak out. 2 teaspoons of parsley. Okay, so this is going to, I'm going to stir it, and then it's going to do its thing here. And then I'm going to clear this cutting board out of the way because we are done chopping at this point. And we're going to wait for this to come to a boil and cook. In the meantime, we are going to make the sauce in this back pot. So just a large size stock pot, or not stock pot. What is this called? I don't even know what this is called. Whatever this is called, you need one of these. Not the smallest size, but anyway, the more medium size. I have to admit I'm a little scatterbrained tonight, so I don't know. I'm just going to blame it on having the flu. That's all. All right, so the first thing that we do with the sauce is we're going to take our pot, and like I said, I am doubling this, so you guys need 4 tablespoons of butter on your end into your pot. Okay. 4 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to put this on the back burner back here. And we're going to go over medium heat. We do not want this butter to burn. We do not want to forget about this butter. We just need it to melt, okay? So medium heat, 4 tablespoons of butter on the back burner. If you have missed any portion of this meal and you don't know what the other ingredients are, there's a replay that happens literally within minutes of me being through with this video. So anyway, you can always go back and rewatch it. We have butter here. This is 4 tablespoons of butter. Now to this, we are going to get our thickener of choice. You could use cornstarch. You could use cassava flour. I'm going to use cornstarch tonight. You could also use regular flour if you wanted to, I have my oldest, my 12-year-old, she used to be gluten intolerant. We did the GAPS diet. It stands for GAPS stands for Gut and Psychology Syndrome. And so we did this special gut and body healing diet. And so we try to avoid non-sprouted or soaked or like fermented, as in like sourdough type of wheat. So that's why I always reach for cassava flour. That's why I always reach for corn starch, is because I do know that that's been a past sensitivity for her. And so I try to limit bringing that back into the scenario. So I'm going to use cornstarch tonight. After the GAPS diet, however, she can have wheat that is, sourdough and that sort of thing, sprouted whole wheat bread without a problem. For the recipe next week, I'll be using rice noodles. So it's just different, just kind of making sure we don't have it in there too often for her anyway. Okay, so this is melting. You're going to need a whisk, so let me try and find one of those. I should go through and find all of my utensils before I start one of these. Let's see. Oh, I know where it is. Hang on, maybe. Oh, maybe not. Here it is. I got it. All right. So this is starting to bubble, so I'm going to turn it down just a little bit to medium-low heat, or low-medium, or would that be medium-low? Okay. Bringing it a little bit closer. I don't know, it doesn't really help you see what's going on to the pan, but it's okay, it's just melting. You guys are not missing anything. All right, so let's go there. Something like that. Oops, that way. Okay, so this is pretty much almost all the way melted. So to this, we are going to add 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. If you are using cassava flour or some other thickener, go ahead and start with 3 tablespoons, but you might have to add a little bit more depending on what you're choosing to use. Okay, I'm just going to mix it on up here. And like with all cornstarches, I'm going to go ahead and move this up to medium heat. We're going to wait for this to come to a bubble, and then we will add the next ingredient. The next ingredient is going to be 2 cups of milk. I have double, so I gotta do double. It just hit me. Hello, that's why it's not very thick. So 2 cups of milk is you guys' next amount for the recipe. I'm just finishing doubling this because I forgot. Okay. There we go. Okay, so, I don't know if you can see that, but it is bubbling away. It's nice and thick, so we're going to go ahead and grab our milk here. I believe the soup is now boiling back over here. And we're officially cooking there too. Okay, so I need my measurements. We're going to go ahead and put in, you are putting in 2 cups of milk. I'm putting in more than that. So, 2 cups of milk. Organic's great. Non-homogenized is better. As far as milk is concerned. This is raw milk. It would not have to be raw, obviously, because we're cooking, but this is also organic, so. And I am doubling this recipe, so I'm going to add the rest of my double here. But you would be adding 2 cups of milk. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and whisk that. We're going to let that come up to a bubble. We are over medium heat. We do not want to burn any of the dairy in that pot there. In the meantime, I'm going going to go ahead and take my sour cream, which is Nancy's. It's always my sour cream. If you can't find Nancy's locally, you could try a different organic brand, or you could try, the next step down from organic would be Daisy's sour cream. So you guys need a half a cup of sour cream. I'm just measuring it out while we wait. Okay. I'm going to need double that, but that's a good start. The other thing I'm using tonight that I don't typically use is store-bought cheese. Yeah. Not very proud of that one, but we are all out of cheese. If Azure would have come on time, I could have had the cheese I typically use for my family, but it didn't, so we are using store-bought cheese tonight. So don't be shocked when my cheese sauce turns bright orange. Okay. So we're just waiting for this to come up to a simmer. The other thing you can start getting ready is your cream cheese. Okay. So my cream cheese, let's see, your amount is 8 ounces of cream cheese. Oh, I just totally dropped you. You guys love me still, right? You guys just popped right off there. I think that while we wait for that to cook, we're going to go ahead and read off the ingredients for next week's meal. So, like I said at the beginning of this video, next week we are going to be making taco pasta. Like I said before, we do not eat pasta very much in this family, just because no matter what pasta you get, the grains that are in it are not properly prepared. That's including corn pasta, even your einkorn pasta. The einkorn is not soaked, you guys. I have yet to find a sprouted pasta, and I believe that is because the storage time for shelf life, there is none. If you follow a lot of recipes for like sourdough noodles or sprouted noodles that you can find online, those are all frozen if you are not going to use them directly. So I have not found a sprouted noodle that I would even consider being happy with. So we don't typically eat a lot of pasta. If you eat a lot of pasta, if your diet's heavy in pasta, just consider that all of that grain that you are consuming is not properly prepared, which leads to cavities and overall bone and body health problems. So anyway, we are going to be making taco pasta though, because we eat pasta every now and then as a treat. I personally will be using rice pasta, but you sure could use einkorn. You could use whole wheat. You use whatever you can get your hands on, okay? Preferably organic so that we know that that has not been sprayed, okay? So you're going to need, I'm checking on the recipe here. Okay, so we're not bubbling yet over there. I'm going to double this recipe for my family. I'm going to read you the ingredients for one recipe, not two, okay? So one batch. You're going to need 2 cups of cheddar cheese, 4 ounces of cream cheese, 1 pound of ground beef, 2 tablespoons of butter, 2 garlic cloves. If you can find 1 packet of taco seasoning, that's great, but a lot of those taco seasonings have not so good ingredients. So what we will do next week is we will make our own taco seasoning. I will put a video out on how to do that. The ingredients typically are chili powder, cumin, paprika, salt, what else? Onion powder and garlic powder, I believe. But I will put a video out on how to make your own taco seasoning, okay? We need 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, 2 cups of any kind of broth. You can use beef broth or chicken, whichever one you have on hand. Let's see, 1 cup of milk, 1 can of diced tomatoes, and then 1 small little can of diced green chilies, okay? And then somewhere between 3/4 of a pound and 1 pound of pasta. And like I said, this recipe I will be doubling for my family because this only serves 6 people. So if it's just 2 people eating, then this will be plenty and you have some leftovers. This is a delicious recipe, you guys. Highly addicting, okay? So those are the ingredients, and like I said, I will put out a video on how to make the taco seasoning. It is not hard, guys. So I will do that, and we'll save your body some of the chemicals and the preservatives that are in regular taco seasoning packets. Okay, so let's turn this around and see what's going on back here. I'm going to go ahead and whisk this because I have not whisked it. I've risked it by not whisking it. Alright, so mine is just now starting to come to a bubble. I'm going to go ahead and add in the sour cream, which is a half a cup of sour cream. But like I said, I'm doubling it. I say that with every ingredient, but I don't want people to forget I am doubling it. So, half a cup on your end for one batch. Okay, whoa. Throwing sour cream. Okay. So then to this, I'm going to go ahead and whisk it, and then we're going to add our 8 ounces of cream cheese. I'm trying to cook around this boiling pot. This is when it's not really well planned out here. The good news is it smells like the vegetables are just about done. So I have way more than 8 ounces because I'm doubling this recipe, but you need 8 ounces of cream cheese. It's going in. Woo. Okay. Trying to figure out how to go around that steam that's coming out of the pot. It's getting hot. Okay, so it's going to end up melting. That's what we want. It's always so bright. But then if I turn the light off, then it's not... Oh, maybe it works. Okay, we'll turn the light off for a while. I'm going to test one of these potatoes and one of the carrots to see if they're done, because they sure smell like they are done. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Potato's done. Let's see about a carrot. Yep. Okay. So this soup is done on the front, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. I don't have less steam in my face, which would be good. This is getting ready to explode over here. Okay, I can feel that almost all the clumps are melted into the pot. That's what we want. Whoa! Hello, that was exciting. Let's take that off of the burner before it spews all over my kitchen. Okay. Be nice. We'll just go ahead and take it off the burner because I don't want to just throw stuff all over. Okay. So to this, we're going to go ahead and add 2 cups of cheese. This is cheddar cheese. So 2 cups are 8 ounces. Let's see if it'll just melt without being on there. It just gets super, super thick, as you guys can see there. And then it explodes like it did over there. Yeah, it's melting. I'll just keep on stirring. Okay, so super thick sauce here. Cheese is starting to melt. I need to grab some salt. Don't skimp on the salt. It really makes the cheese sauce pop. I can find my salt. My kids like to eat my salt, so I'm like, where is it? Hang on. Sure, I'll find it. Here it is. Okay. So when I say salt, I mean colored salt. So sea salt that looks like a gray tint. This is real salt. It's made by Real Salt Company, or Pink Himalayan would be a good choice. So we are going to add 2 teaspoons to this pot. Okay. I'm going to use a bigger spoon because I know I have more to add than you guys do. 2 teaspoons of salt. Stirring it on in. Remember that 2 teaspoons is being dispersed over, you know, a whole pot of soup. So it's not all going in your bowl. Okay, so this is melted and it is salted and it is delicious. Okay. Get ourselves a spoon and get ready to make a delicious soup here. All right. So here it is. Plain broth. And we're going to go ahead and add in the cheddar cheese sauce. Okay. Just gonna stir it on in. I made a ginormous pot, you guys. If my family eats all this, we got some problems. All right, let's see if you guys can see it better. There you go. If I turn the light off, look at how nice and rich and creamy that is, you guys. It is done. It is delicious and it is done. Okay. So one other thing I wanted to mention, I've used these in some of my other videos, is these are called lazy spoons. It used to be a Rachel Ray thing, but now you can buy them at Target. This is made out of silicone, but you can dish up your meal to whomever, and then when you're done, you just simply hang it on the side of your pot like that. I love it because the kids know exactly where it is. I love it because I don't have to have a spoon rest sitting on my stove, and I know the kids always miss it. They sit the spoon somewhere other than the spoon holder, and it drives me nuts, and then I have to clean my stove anyway. This has solved so much of my problems, okay? So totally worth the money. They make them in a big ladle like this that just hangs. And then also, somewhere around here, hang on, let me see if it's clean. Oh, yep. They make other, types of spoons, like a regular pasta spoon with the same notch hanging capacity here. So these are worth the money. They are actually not too bad. And they have saved me a ton of headache when it comes to dishing out kids. Where's the spoon? Getting another spoon because they can't find the spoon. Putting the spoon somewhere other than the spoon rest, and putting soup and seasonings and sauce all over my kitchen. These are amazing, okay? So, that is the soup, you guys. That's all there is to it. Like I said, next week we will make taco pasta. And I already listed off all the ingredients for that. So, I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Thank you so much for joining me. And have a great night. We'll see you guys on the next video, which will be the homemade taco seasoning video. So I'll put that out within the next couple of days. It'll be a really short, under 5 minutes video. I was going to say under 3 minutes, but I like to talk. So probably under 5-minute video coming your way within the next couple of days. So keep your eyes out for that. Anyway, you guys have a great night. Enjoy your soup. Thank you so much for cooking with me. And I'll see you guys in the next one.